How you guys doing tonight? I know I'm going live later. I'm able to talk a little bit louder. It's not quite as late, maybe 10 o'clock, I think it is. Anyway, I want to tell you guys a story about something that happened to me when I was, well, let's just get right into it. So from 4 to 6, I was really into the Ninja Turtles. I loved the Ninja Turtles. That and Batman. I had my things. I think Swamp Man was a thing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Swamp Man. But anyway, I loved the Ninja Turtles. It was Ninja Turtles this, Ninja Turtles that. My whole wall, if you could imagine, I had posters of Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, Leonardo. And Raphael was my favorite one because, well, he was a dick, and I don't know, I just gravitated towards him for some reason. I think it's just because I like the color red, and on top of it, his personality. He was just a real badass. So yeah, if you could imagine, that's how my room looked. You walked in, I had posters, like the Ninja Turtle movie posters. I had the cartoon posters. I had like Batman on my wall. I used to even wear a Batman cape. Yeah, and I would wear this thing so much that the Velcro would wear off, and I'd have to wear a safety pin in order to wear this cape. Anyway, so yeah, very boyish room. I think my nightstand was even a Ninja Turtles, or my lamp was even like a Ninja Turtles lamp. And I had like a Ninja Turtles doll. So you get how obsessed I was with the Ninja Turtles. Anyway, so, oh man. So I go to visit my aunt and my family down on my dad's side, and they live pretty far from me. They always have. They're from like Lewis, Delaware, Rehoboth area, and so I would travel as a child. I would travel pretty frequently on my dad's side. My mom and my dad, my biological father, they were still together. So I would go and hang out with my grandmother or my grandfather, and I would do this even without my parents. I was just that close with my aunts, my cousins, and everybody on my dad's side. So one weekend, I decided to go hang out with my cousins and my aunt, etc. And my aunt knows just how much I love the Ninja Turtles. Oh, look, there's my cat. And we get into a serious conversation. I'm telling her about episodes. I'm like, did you see the one where they had like the moon boots and like the van flipped over and like Rocksteady had his socks pulled off and his feet stank and they like basically, I kind of forget how the episode goes now, but I'm telling her all this stuff and yeah, like they grossed him out with his own smelly feet and they stole these moon boots and blah blah blah. And she's sipping her coffee, listening to me, and she's acknowledging, and the one thing I'll say about my aunt is she indulged in any conversation, whether it was talking about Bigfoot or aliens or whatever type of thing that a kid could possibly speak about. She was all ears. And she would gas me up a lot of these times. She would say things like I would say something like, "Oh, Batman, he's like my favorite. I just love like the Joker, Batman, like the whole vibe and whatever." I don't know what I would say at that time. And she'd be like, "Oh, I know him." She would mess with my head and like say things like that, yeah, yeah, his real name is Bruce Wayne, and yeah, we go way back. We hang out, stuff like that. She would say things like that, and I would totally, you know, fall for it. And so one day I'm talking about the Ninja Turtles. I'm telling her about these episodes, and my eyes just light up like a kid on Christmas. Everything, and really to this day, I've been that passionate about the things that I'm into. And so whenever I'm talking about a topic that I'm super into, I just light up like a Christmas tree. That's just who I am. That's my personality. I'm a very talkable person, very social person. And so we're talking about different things, and I'm really going heavy talking about the Ninja Turtles. And she's telling me, oh, yeah, like, I know where they live. And I'm like, I look at her, I'm like, you do? She's like, yeah. She's like, you know how, like, on the cartoon, it shows that they live in a sewer? She's like, I know the sewer that they live in. And I'm like, no way. Are you serious? She's stirring her coffee. Yeah, trust me, kid. I know what I'm talking about. No way. I'll say her name, Anthony's. No way. No, my mind's blown. Where? Which sewer? Like, are they just underground? No, they live in a specific area of the sewer. You gotta show me. You gotta tell me. Uh, I don't know. Now, keep in mind, my aunt, she liked to have fun. So before trolling was a thing, she was trolling me. And I'm a kid, but it's funny. I mean, different times then. And I don't think she thought that I was going to take it to where I was going to take it. But again, she's telling me, yeah, just nonchalant. I know exactly where they are. And to be honest, they live near you. And I'm, what? They live near me? The Ninja Turtles? Remember, guys, I'm probably 5. So my whole just shit is blown. You personally know these guys. Yup, I've been over. I've hung out with them. I've even had pizza with them. Get the out of here. Okay, I gotta know. Where do they live? Well, they live underneath your house. You mean grandma's house? Because I used to live with my grandma. Yup, that's where they live. And she just, after that, that was pretty much it. I don't think she said much, but she just said, that's where they are. And maybe if you're good enough, they will arise at a special time. And it'll be a special moment, and you'll get to witness the Ninja Turtles. And maybe, just maybe, I'll come by too. And we'll all go out and get pizza. This is what my aunt told me. So I'm all the way in like Rehoboth. So from where I used to live in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania, that's kind of a hike. So I'm just, I can't wait to get back home. Sorry about that light, but I'm gonna try to angle it a little better. I don't know if that helps. Try and block it. Excuse me. So I'm kind of anxious, in a good way, but I'm just like twiddling my thumbs, like, man, I got to get through this weekend. And the weekend, even though I was so young, the weekends are everything for a kid. It's playtime 24/7. So I'm just, man, I cannot wait to get home. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find these Ninja Turtles. We're gonna eat pizza. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna do the most. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna play. This is all being kid and kid shit that comes out of my mind. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do stuff. So I'm eager to get home, and finally Sunday comes. It's time to go home. I'm happy as can be. We get home, and immediately, once I get home, I put my stuff down, and I go out the door to play. And that's something I did a lot as a child. I'd always go outside and play. I know it's different times that we live in, but you could not get me to go inside. I always liked going outside, whether it's climbing a tree, playing on the swing set that we had, exploring. And honestly, it's like the kid in me has still never died. Now, that's a whole nother topic. I digress. But I get home, throw my stuff aside, dart out the door, and I'm all hopped up. Ninja Turtles time. I'm gonna see them soon. It's gonna happen. I'm in the zone. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? I'm going ham. I'm in the mind. I'm thinking about the energy, just like how ecstatic I was with the story that she told me. I was just, I was so happy. I'm like, I gotta find these dudes. I gotta meet them. Supposedly, they live underneath my house. My house, out of everywhere in the world, they live underneath my house. So I've got to find them. I got to do whatever it takes. I need to meet these guys. You don't understand. They are my number one. I mean, I'm their number one fan, but they are my number one guys that I look up to. This is it. This is the Ninja Turtles. I love them. So anyway, I'm all hopped up, doing my karate kicks and, swinging my punches. And I think I even had like a little thing that you tied around, kind of went around your eyes. You know what I mean? So I'm all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. All right, I don't want to sing it too much. I don't know if I'm going to get a copyright for that. Because, YouTube now. You can't sing a song without getting hit with a copyright. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Sorry, YouTube. Anyway, so I'm going ham. I'm doing my thing. I'm a kid doing my stuff outside. Anyway, so I see a storm, like not a storm drain, but one of those circular lids to get into the sewer. And I knew about this. I knew that it led down to the sewer, but I had never removed it before. And to this day, I don't know how I was able to remove it, but I spotted it, and it was kind of that moment where in a movie or a cartoon when they're searching for gold and then that song comes on, or whatever the hell it is, and it's just lighting up like a light bulb, like glowing in the distance. And that's literally how I saw this sewage drain, whatever you want to call it. So it was like a light bulb went off in my head, and my eyes just got fixated on it. And I'm just staring at this thing like, this is it. This is my chance to meet the Ninja Turtles. They live in here. All I got to do is get this lid off, and then I can go meet them. Yeah, that's what's going through my head. They're on the other side of this thing, and I'm going to meet them. So, without wasting much time, I run over to it, and I start trying to pry this thing off. Now, they're encased in cement a lot of times, and they're very heavy, especially for a little kid. And soaking wet, I was probably 40 pounds. So anyway, I'm prying at this thing. I don't know how, to this day, but I managed to pop it open and slide it aside. Now, when you think Ninja Turtles, right? If you've seen the Ninja Turtles, whether you've seen the live action or you've seen the cartoon, you know that, or maybe you don't, but I'm going to tell you now and inform you that the way they paint this picture of the sewer, it looks dirty in the show, but it's not filled with liquids. Maybe in the center, but it's this big round cylinder area, very long, very, tubes, like long halls, and they would take a ladder to get down, and there's just all this space and rats and other things and creatures that live down there. But nonetheless, they got like a whole layer, like a whole room. And so in my mind, I thought that once I removed this, it was going to be like that. I was going to climb down the ladder, and I was going to roam the halls of the sewer, and I was going to find their home. That's what I thought was going to happen. So once I removed the lid, it was just liquid. And I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know what went through my head, but I started to lower myself into this liquid, okay? This dark substance. It smelled immediately. It was very off-putting, but I thought, well, I got to get through this if I want to meet the Ninja Turtles. So I'm lowering myself in, and I kind of got like one hand on the left, like my left hand on the side, like where the grass is, where the concrete stops, and I'm lowering myself. I got my right hand here, and ever so slightly, I'm lowering myself into this goop. So I thought it was goop or sludge, whatever you want to call it. And as I start to get to my stomach, my mom runs out of the front door, and she's like, "Stop! What are you doing?" She starts freaking out. "Get the hell out of there!" My grandmother comes out of the house. "What are you doing, Matt? Get away from there!" My mom runs over to me, grabs me, underhooks my arms. My grandmother helps as well, and they pull me out, right? They pull me out of this. My shoes, my pants, my underwear, everything from here, like from here down, is completely covered in this substance. And this substance, it's not just liquidy, it's chunky too. And remember, keep in mind, it smelled. What do you think that substance was? Take a wild guess. You want to know? Human feces. Yeah. This is how smart I was as a child. And here's the thing. I've always been a bright child. There's some questionable things that I've done. But when someone's motivating you and pushing you so much, and you have such a young mind, and it's being warped, and you're being told that the Ninja Turtles live below your home, what do you think you're going to do? Now, should I have stopped once I opened up that lid and I saw that, and I'm staring down the barrel of hell, basically, and I'm seeing that there's just sludge, and it's not hollowed out. It's not somewhere that I can go and I can roam around. In fact, it's quite opposite. It's filled up to the brim, and I'm lowering myself into it like a bad guy lowers somebody into acid. And funny terms to use, but or analogies, but I get out of this thing, and they lay me onto the grass, and as I said, I was covered from my waist down. So my shoes and socks were completely effed, and they're being very careful. My mom and my grandmother are trying their best not to vomit because I'm covered in shit. So they get bags, they get gloves, and they're taking my shoes off, they're taking my socks off. They're doing this outside, which makes sense. Eventually I was able to go in once I kind of got down to my skivvies. But yeah, that was all trash, to say the least. But I was willing, to go and do something crazy like this to meet the Ninja Turtles. Now, I do blame my aunt for telling me this. But I think it was more, I obviously knew it was like obviously now I knew this, and later I knew this. At the time I didn't. But she was just messing with me. She was just having fun. She didn't think I was going to do something like that for real. She just wanted to keep the dream alive. She wanted to keep the hope. And I get it. But when you're that young, you're very impressionable. So anyway, yeah, I'm covered in this mess. They have to they're peeling my pants off. They're like almost freaking vomiting. My poor grandmother, my poor mother, And yeah, they stripped me down. I had to go in the house, get showered off. After that, everything was good. They weren't angry with me, but they were like, you can't go into the sewer. The Ninja Turtles don't live down there. And of course, they questioned me. And, not that I was a snitch or a tattletale, but I was honest. And they said, who told you the Ninja Turtles were in the sewer? Who told you that? I said, Aunt Denise. She told me she knew them. She ate pizza with them. She said they lived underneath the house. So I wanted to go find the Ninja Turtles. I mean, shit, can you blame me? But, yeah, figuratively and literally, shit hit the fan. Because I was covering in it. Anyway, so, yeah, the moral of the story is, don't listen to what everybody says. This is a far out moment, I get it. But and it's just something, it's something that happened that obviously I wasn't able to compute and figure out. So, hindsight's 2020 in these situations, and being as young as I was again, I didn't have the brain power or knowledge to realize that it was just a joke, So maybe the other moral here is to not always take everything so literal. It is a lesson learned, because although I was very young, I did learn my lesson, and that was the one and only time that I ever did something like that. So I did learn my lesson. Unfortunately, it was a very grotesque way, and this, so without saying any more, this was the grossest story that I've ever told, and now you've heard it. This might be the grossest story. I don't know. We'll have to see. I have other things that I want to talk about, but this was the time that I tried to meet the Ninja Turtles, and this was the aftermath. Man. So silly, right? It was god awful, Once I went inside and all my clothes were thrown out, the clothes that I was wearing, it didn't deter me from liking the Ninja Turtles, but it was kind of like I don't know. I guess it was a big eye opener, because I'm like, all right, sewers aren't like that. I thought sewers were different, and now I know the truth. But anyway, no, it's just a story that, it's something that happened. It's a very gross story, but yeah, it could have been worse. I could have just dropped in there, and if I would have completely just dropped in there, even though I knew that I couldn't swim in this stuff or whatever, I would have drowned in shit. But they came out and stopped me, thank God. I think I would have stopped on my own. But yeah, that was the time that I tried to meet the Ninja Turtles. And boy, did I pay the consequences on that one. Disgusting. All right, well, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's my story. If anybody's in here and they want to ask me a question, go ahead now. I'm only going to be on for maybe 2 to 3 more minutes, if that. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of traction right now, but then again, this thing is very finicky. So how about this? How about I'll come back on here and I'll do a Q&A, and we'll keep that separate. But yeah, I just wanted to tell that story. And if I don't hop on later again, because it is late, I probably won't. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right? Thanks. Bye.